All right, all right. It looks like we're live. We're live. We're live. I'm so excited to be live with y'all today. Hey, everybody. It's JJ Conway. I'm so happy to be here with you today. Today's topic, this is our fourth Thursday. And so it's our empowered entrepreneur. How to do, no, how to become the person that attracts into your life the kinds of things that you want to do and have and be in your life. And so we find that especially for the entrepreneur of faith, it's very important that we allow ourselves to be transformed by the renewing of our mind, and we do that through our study of the word. And then those of us who didn't grow up in a business environment, we do that through classes like this. So I'm super excited that you're here with us today. Our topic today is hunt, hunt, hunt. And it's going to be interesting. If you've ever thought about the growth of your business, I want you to pay attention to this. Even if you're just getting started, I want you to pay attention, because this is something you're going to hopefully need as your business grows. So hunt, hunt, hunt. Our topic today is hunt, hunt, hunt. One of the lessons I learned long ago is that it's actually kind of easy to find paying clients. I mean, I know some of us are like, huh? But it really is. And if you just think about the law of compensation, it's clear that getting clients is not the problem. And I've watched people, I've built businesses myself, I've sold businesses, I've watched others build multi-million dollar companies from the ground up. And one thing that I've noticed after observing all this in the when did Philip's grandparents start their company? We had just graduated from the Air Force Academy, so it was 97. I think they might have started it the year before, 96. But over the people that I've watched build companies over all those years, I honestly can't think of a company that went out of business because there weren't enough people to do business with. Now, there's always people to do business with. Now, it doesn't mean that the entrepreneur is doing business with that person, but that's a different problem. Okay. So again, if we look at the law of compensation, the law of compensation is very clear. The amount of money your company is going to generate is based on the need for what you do, your ability to do it, and the difficulty there is in replacing you. Okay. And so this principle applies in every other area, of life, because even if we are in a nonprofit space, how does our nonprofit distinguish itself in the marketplace? Do they offer something that's different from other nonprofits? Is it easy to replace us? Can donors find that somebody on YouTube University is offering the same thing for free, right? And they don't need our funding to do that, right? So this applies if we're in an education sense today. Maybe we have a lot of music educators by virtue of the fact that my husband is a music educator. We have a lot of music educators who buy my courses. And maybe you're like, I'm not trying to make more money. I'm trying to have more impact in my school. Well, how do you set yourself apart? These principles apply. Now, I will say to the average educator out there, hunt, hunt, hunt may not apply. But if you're ever in a position to hire, or if you are ever in the position to bring other people in, then you need what I'm going to teach you today. Okay. And so I'm going to tell you today, the need for what you do has never been greater. Never been greater. Whatever it is that you do, that you offer the world, that the Lord has put upon your heart, the need for it is there. And we look in today's environment, the need for it is there, and it's there in an entrepreneurial capacity. What I mean by that is, people need to know that you're going to be there tomorrow, no matter what the government laws are doing. Right. So the government cannot fire me. Now, they could come up with something later on that I have to deal with, and I'm not trying to be arrogant about that. I'm trusting in the Lord to protect my business and protect my livelihood. But at the same time, there's a need for what we're doing in this world. And I'm going to pause because I realize we are recording this to replace a faulty or a corrupted episode in our success strategies class, and I can't say that. Well, I done said it. Okay, somebody needs to edit that out for that class. All right, but those of you watching the replay, you know exactly what I'm talking about. All right. The thing is, though, let's think about Mother's Day. Mother's Day is coming up, and Mother's Day is interesting there's Mother's Day is interesting to me because I'll never forget my first Mother's Day. Our pastor actually bought us mugs. Our pastor bought all the moms in the church mugs, and it was like world's best mom or happy Mother's Day or some little thing like that with some candy in it. Nothing really extravagant, but he bought all the moms mugs and he got up and he said, I went ahead and did this because I've been a dad myself, or I am a dad myself. Let me rephrase that. He said, I went ahead and did this because I am a dad myself, and I'll bet all y'all men forgot to buy your wife something for Mother's Day. You probably acknowledged your mama, but you probably didn't acknowledge your wife. And you know what the sad part about it was? Ain't none of them brothers in the church had bought their wife something for Mother's Day. And so it was my very first Mother's Day as a mother gift, right? And so you think about, well, what difference does something little like that make? Let me tell you something. With everything going on, there's never been a more Mother's Day than this coming Mother's Day, right? And a lot of people can't see they can't get to their mothers anymore. Their mothers have transitioned. We think about the price of groceries and stuff. It's depressing to go to the grocery store right now. You want to buy flowers, you want to buy chocolates. We can't even buy eggs right now, right? And so you want to do something for your mom, but you don't know what to do. And people can't do what they want to do, so there's a need for somebody to stand in that gap. And you think to yourself, well, I've tried to do this and I've tried to do that, and I can't make anything work. Well, can you put a Mother's Day spin on it and offer some people something unique that they can go out and do, and that they can go out and have, and they can go out and get, maybe I can't go out and buy a $40 bouquet of flowers right now, but can I do a $10 customized song? And we think to ourselves, well, there's no way I can break into that. There's no way I can break into that. But you know what? There's always a way. The law of compensation, your business will be compensated according to the need for what you do, your ability to do it, and how difficult it is for you to be replaced. I might also add to that law of compensation that you got to get people to know what you do and understand that you have the high ability to do it, and understand that you cannot be replaced. And I use the song example because I had a client. I had a client one time who did customize songs, and I hope that she's still using it. I've lost touch with her over the years, but we sat down and we created a plan. Like, I understand, this song that's completely customized is, $1,000, but you need money now. So what can you do for somebody for $25? And I'm not talking about run it through AI. Everybody does everything through AI. I've been doing a lot more with AI. I'm not knocking AI, but some things need a human touch still. And so you think about those kinds of things, and you think about, well, what can I do? Instead of always being in the mode of what I can't do, we think about what we can do. So one aspect of hunt, hunt, hunt is we're hunting for what can we do that nobody else is offering? What can we do that the world needs? What can we do that cannot be replaced with free stuff from YouTube? What can we do that people would be willing to pay us for? And what can we do that we can implement right now? St. Patrick's Day is coming up. I'm not a big fan of St. Patrick's Day. I mean, when you read some of the history and you realize how it was co-opted just to sell green beer, and it's not something I'm really a big participant in. But you know what? St. Patrick's Day is coming up. Whether you like it or don't, there's things you can do. There's people who can get in on the party side of it. There's people who can get in on the spiritual don't party side of it. Like anything you can do. And y'all want, let me put out a challenge. All right. And my editing team, we're going to need to edit this out because this is not going to apply to everybody who's on, but let's pull this for the podcast. So I probably should have mentioned that in the beginning. We do extract these recordings for the Ladies of Wealth podcast However, this particular recording, we had a corrupted recording from a class that I sold, and I actually only figured it out because somebody was like, "Hey, I bought your class and this recording doesn't work." And I'm like, "Oh, we're going to fix that right away." So we're teaching it today, but we do extract these lessons for the podcast. So if you're listening to me as part of the Ladies of Will podcast, I encourage you to come out and join us on Thursdays, because when you join us on Thursdays, you get to get your questions answered live. So what I'm going to do live, and it's only for the people who are live. If you're watching the replay, I appreciate you, but I'm not going to come back and do this. Okay. Maybe we'll do it during a group coaching, but if you're live, I want you to drop your business expertise and a holiday you want me to prep you for. Let's be real about it. Okay. I don't want you to give me Christmas. Christmas is a whole nother 10 months away. We just passed Christmas. You're going to forget whatever I said by Christmas, but let's look at stuff you can implement. So put a holiday or a special occasion or National Donut Day or National Spaghetti Day or whatever it is. Let's cap it between now and let's not include 4th of July. So between now and up to the 4th of July, okay? And so give me some holidays, drop your business expertise. Now look, don't drop an advertisement, okay? Don't drop, here's my website. Go here and get my free coaching package. That's not what I'm asking you to do. I'm JJ Conway. I help hardworking women and a few good men dump debt, build wealth, leave a legacy. You can put your mission statement in there and then put a holiday. And what we'll do is at the end of the teaching, I'll brainstorm what you can put into place quickly to help you capitalize on that holiday. How fun will that be? Okay. Anyway, that's my challenge for y'all today, but it's only for those of you who are live or who are watching, because otherwise you won't hear it until it's too late. Okay. All right. So you have to be you have to be able to help your people understand the need for what you do and the need to be in this and the need to be in this constant search, right? Because the only way people are going to do business with you is if you stand out. Your company has to be able to solve their problem, meet their need in some unique way. And because of that, and because I only have one voice and one set of lungs, and I can't shout it from all the rooftops, we have to be in the relentless pursuit of where can we get good talent. So in one aspect, the first 10 minutes or so of this talk, or the first 5 minutes by the time we cut out some of the other things, the first 5 minutes of this talk, we're talking about hunting for ways to be relevant in the marketplace that nobody else is doing. And the interesting thing about ideas is the idea comes to me, it comes to others at about the same time. And many people don't act on the idea. Many people don't act on the idea. I am personally not acting on a lot of ideas that come to me because I gotta get this doctorate done. It's been way too long. And you might be in a season of life where it's really not the time for you to focus on that, or you might have a resource issue over here or a health issue over there, and you need to focus on those things. But if you don't act on the idea, someone else will enter that into the marketplace. And the crazy thing about it is many of us might, a lot of you listening to me today might resist putting that idea into the marketplace, not because of a health challenge, not because you like me are working on your next degree and you got to get it done, not because you've got something going on that's an extraneous situation with your family that needs your focus right now, but simply because you are afraid to put something out into the marketplace that may not be perfect. And because you're afraid to put something out into the marketplace that may not be perfect, you either ignore the idea completely, or you perhaps, maybe, sometimes decide you're going to get around to it. And you sit down to play out the idea, but instead of actually working on the idea, you rearrange your office. Instead of actually working on the idea, you organize all your files, right? Because you're getting ready to get ready. But you've heard the phrase, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready, right? So while we're in this space of warming ourselves up to maybe one day, somehow, sometime get around to it. Somebody else is like, well, I don't know if I can do this really well, but I'm just going to throw it out there. I'm going to see what sticks. And while you're organizing your files, they have made a little video about, hey, y'all, this is what I'm thinking about doing. If you want to order it. And they got 2 orders. And they said, well, that's a data point. And then they fulfilled that order. And then they asked the people, what about the order they liked? And then they went and did more of it. And they did more of what brought people to take their card out and buy it, or to take their cash out and buy it. And while you were getting ready to get ready, the person who wasn't ready went out there not ready, got a result, and used the result to get better. So we have to hunt for the idea. And we have to then implement the idea. And we really need, I really love this imagery. I love this imagery of us being on the prowl for the next thing and trying to catch that prey before somebody else does. That's really a small part of what we're going to talk about today. But if that's all you have time to listen to, it will serve you well in your business, in your nonprofit, in your academia, if you're teaching, and if you're an educator today, in any genre of behavior you are in, that concept will help you. Okay. When it comes to building your business, however, what we really also need to do is to really pursue good talent. And so that's what we're really going to spend a lot of the time today is pursuing talent, hunting for talent to help us grow. I cannot make all the phone calls that need to be made to take Conway Financial Group to the next business, to the next level. I can't make all the phone calls I need to make to take Ladies of Wealth to the next level, the Ladies of Wealth podcast to the next level. Okay. You know, I can pick up the phone book. I got one over here. It's one that I'm going to start working through. I told you that last week and I haven't done it yet. So we gonna next time we have one of these calls, I'm going to be like, yeah, I've been doing it. All right. I got a phone book over here. Say, who uses phone books anymore? People in rural Texas use phone books. I can take the phone book. I can smile and dial. You better smile when you're making them phone calls now. It makes a whole difference in your energy on the phone. I can smile and dial. It's JJ Conway from Conway Financial Group, and there are tens of thousands of companies in that phone book that I could do business with. And I don't need all tens of thousands of companies to do business with. I really only need about 5 or 6. I need 5 or 6 that want to offer financial stuff for their client, for their employees. I need about 5 or 6 that want to bring John Maxwell content in for their employees. I really don't need the whole phone book. I can smile and dial. I can run through my sales scripts. But you know what? There's not. I got a book of companies. Well, you know what I don't have? I don't have a book of people who are willing to work hard, who are willing to work nights and weekends and not steal. They don't just show up. They don't just show up to just swipe in and get paid to do nothing, right? There's no book to get employees like that. There's no book to find vendors like that. There's no book to find contractors like that. These people are rare diamonds. Do you understand what I'm saying? A really good, sharp employee, a good, sharp member of your staff is like a rare diamond. And when you find one, you got to treat them like an asset, not a resource. See, resources, and I know we've talked about this before, your most precious asset is your people. Resources are disposable. Assets appreciate in value. And as you pour into your people, as you continue to lift your leadership lid through classes like this and personal coaching and mentoring and all those good things, as you continue to live your leadership lid and as you pour into your people will grow and their value appreciates. And nearly every entrepreneur needs to solve this problem because every entrepreneur requires the help of other people in order to do business. Even if you're not hiring people, you always got to be on the hunt for finding the very best talent. And you have to realize that The very best people probably aren't looking for a job. The very best people, they are not looking for you. Even when times are good and times are bad, the best people always have options. So they don't stay places where they're underpaid or underappreciated. They're not looking for you because they're already working. Now, in the case of looking for vendors to help provide services, you might find good people at trade shows and at association networking meetings and things like that. But when it comes time to bring people into your business, the best people are already employed. That's why if somebody's got a really good video editor, I'm going to ask him or her, who's your video editor, rather than just go find one on Fiverr. The best people are already employed. So you have to hunt, hunt, and hunt. Oh, yeah, we got to be on the lookout. Our talent radar just needs to be on. And so we're searching determinately for someone or something. We need to be determined in this. You can't wait for the right time to hire people. Now, if you don't have money in your business, but you identify talent, hold on a second. Excuse me. Oh, I left my drink out there. Oh, all right. If any of my family's watching this, please go get my drink for me. Thank you. Love you. I don't think they are. I think they're watching TV. um, Let me go back on that. Okay. So we have to be determined this. We cannot wait for the right time to hire somebody. And if we're in a business situation where we're not making the money we need to really pay the talent we need, we've got to find another way. We've got to find another way to stay connected until the time we can plop that money down, or the time that they are willing to work with us at a lower cost because they want to pour into us and build that symbiotic relationship. It doesn't cost anything to build a relationship. We can't wait for the big client to sign the deal and then say, okay, now that we know the contract's signed, let's go find the people to help me execute it. So you can't wait until you have the money in the bank to cover their salary for a couple months, and then all of a sudden you got to hire them. They may not be around. They may not be available. They don't come along every day. They don't just materialize every day. So you have to be looking always. And then when you get the client, you've already got 3 or 4 people that you already know are doing what you need done. And if you have the money to hire them, well, then that's what you need to do. As soon as you see talent, as soon as you see somebody who's got that spark, boom, you get them. You find somebody who's working hard, working hard, and you think, okay, you talk to the people, you enjoying this, what are you doing this, what are you doing, is this something that you're interested in, these hours match what I'm doing, if they like if you like what you hear and they like what they hear, you hire them, tell them they're going to make double what they're making. And I know we don't poach. Okay. As a preacher, I don't poach. Okay. When I show up to your church, I'm not showing up to try and steal your members. But when it comes to business, if you are not appreciating your talent, I will come in and appreciate them so I can have that talent what I need. See, you can train for skill set. It's hard to train for talent. And by talent, I don't just mean I know how to hold a camera or I know how to drive a mouse. I'm talking about character. You can train for skill set. You can't train for character. Let me say that again. You can train for skill set. You can take a person who walks in excellence and integrity and train them to do what you need done. But when you have the moment that you need this or that done, it's going to be hard to find somebody with integrity and excellence to meet the quick need. You got to be on the lookout all the time. I hope you understand what I'm getting at here. Okay. Ideally, you get to a point in your business where you can hire them on the spot, give them something to do until you can figure out what they need to do. Right. And ideally, okay. Ideally, you would already have a list of things that need doing if you had one more body. Right. Okay. But I know a lot of us, we're just starting out. We're not there yet. Okay. But you have to be able to be on the hunt. You have to pay attention to who is who is available, who is offering good work ethic, who, we used to get when my son lived out here before he graduated and moved to the other side of the country here. We used to get all kinds of compliments on his attention to detail when he was working at Whataburger. How he would wipe up the drippies on the side of the drink. How he had a great quick way of opening up the bags and put everything in, and it looked all sharp and neat. You didn't get no scrunched up looking greasy bag when Philip Wiggins was working, right? You got a nice clean sharp bag, and your food was presented nicely. And you say, well, that's not really that big of a deal. It is. In a world where people spend so much time on these phones that they don't know how to do a thorough job, and they're just trying to do the quickest job they can do so they can get the minimum payment they can get, and do the minimum effort they can do so they can get the payment they want to get and just roll on out of there. They're just looking to find a job where they just, I don't care if this is all dribbly. The 10 seconds it takes for me to wipe up that dribble is more time I could be on my phone. Right? Like I'm not actually, I'll be honest. Let me just do a disclaimer. I love the folks at Whataburger. I ain't never seen anybody at that Whataburger sitting around on their phone. Okay. I love our Whataburger in Stephenville. They are amazing folks, and they pour into the community and they donate to the band. And I love y'all. But I'm just saying, I've been in other places where, like, I'm trying to take an order, Whataburger or any of them. I'm trying to take an order and they're all, and I'm like, and then I'll be with you in a minute. And then you want to be like, you do realize I can see what you're looking at through the reflection on the wall behind you, right? But the glass top. And sometimes I do want to say that, and sometimes I'm like, no, you live in rural Texas now. You can't get away with that kind of stuff the way you could on the East Coast. See, on the East Coast, they light you up on one side and down the other just for not being able to make up your mind when you're standing in line. They'll be like, what are you, crazy? Get out of my line if you don't know what you want. Like that's a whole different world. It's a whole different world out here in rural Texas, right? So I'll be like, I can't say that. I can't say that. But I'm like looking at them behind them, and they're on Facebook. They're on TikTok. They're not texting their caregiver who's watching their kid or something important. Woo, I done got off on a tangent there, but you understand what I'm saying, right? When you find talent, and it's getting harder and harder and harder to find talent who will walk in excellence and do a thorough job and has attention to detail and will buy into your company mission, that will buy into your nonprofit mission, that will buy into your academic mission, and do all of that you will need them to do with excellence. It's hard to find those people. It's hard to find, my husband and his fellow band directors, they put in so many extra hours. You can't just be I'm going to clock in and clock out and take fake breaks all the time. You can't be that person and do that job well. And if you're that person, you're not going to work well with that team, because that team is doing things. They're moving and shaking, and they're bringing home sweepstakes. So you're not coming in and messing up their award-winning program. You're going to come in and work, and they're looking for people that love what they do and are willing to go above and beyond. And I don't know about y'all, but I don't find people that are willing to go above and beyond anymore. I find them in rare driplets and droplets. One time I was at Verizon, and this is years ago. So that person's gone and graduated, and they've moved on. But it was actually when I went and bought this phone. So this is my recording phone that I use to back up recordings for my classes. And I have my phone. My husband got me my nice swanky phone, but this old phone is take a look at it, keep on ticking, and it's got the best recorder of any phone I've ever been on. So iPhone, y'all make me a good recorder so I can stop carrying around two phones. Y'all make me a good look. All right, let me just interrupt. Okay, we got to edit this out. We probably won't, but I'm gonna try to edit this out. iPhone, here's what I need from y'all. I need a good recording program. I need the ability to do broadcast text so everybody doesn't reply all and everybody doesn't see the whole entire group that I send a text to. And you know what else I need? I need the ability to schedule my text. I don't understand why my little raggedy old Motorola phone can schedule my text so I can type my text at 2 a.m. and they don't go out till 8 a.m. I need you to help a sister out if you want me to make the full switch. Okay, that's my plug to iPad. I mean, to Apple, iPhone, whatever it's called. Somebody who works for them, y'all get this to them and tell them to fix those things for me. All right. Okay. So in any event, I go to Verizon. I go to buy this phone. Love my Motorola phones. They really they are some of the strongest phones I've ever owned, especially as a mom who travels a lot and has kids and blah blah blah. So I go to buy the phone and I'm asking the guy, I'm like, tell me about the difference in phones. And he's like, well, this is the cheapest phone. This is the cheapest. I should stop tapping it. I'm recording. This is the cheapest phone. This is the cheapest phone. You want this phone? I'm like, well, I need to know what kind of memory capacity between this one and this one and this one. And I see that these prices are a little different. What makes the price different? What's the the speed of the phone? What's the storage on the phone? What are the add-ons? Because Motorola, the Z4 phone has little add-ons. You pop onto it and it can project, and you pop onto it and it can do this, it can do that, and the other. And I had already a version of this. I had an older version of it. So I liked the phone, but I wanted to see what the new phones were. I had made a little bit of money in my business. I wanted to come up a little bit. My child was older. I didn't think I needed that phone, but the little one has proven me wrong on that. So he just kept steering me back to price and price and price. And well, this is the cheapest phone. This is the cheapest phone. This is the cheapest phone. And at one point, I'm like, How long you been in this job?" He said, "I've been here for 3 years." I said, "Really?" I said, "How long do you plan on being in this job?" He said, "I got one more year before I graduate." And this was December, so he was graduating in May from Tarleton. And I said, "Well, you've been in this job for 3 years. Don't you know how to tell the difference between a price conscious shopper and a value conscious shopper? I have not asked you one price conscious question. I am asking you about the features. I am asking you about what makes this phone different from the other. And you keep trying to put me in the cheapest phone." And this is what he said. He said, "Well, what do you expect from me? I'm just a college kid. I don't care about this job. I'm just here to make some money until I graduate." And honestly, that's the attitude of so many people that I come across. But when you find the person who's like, here's the difference between the phones, and here's this, and here's this, and here's this, and here's that, and here's why you might want to pay more for this, and actually you think this might be better because it's twice the price, but this phone over here is actually going to meet all the things you want, and plus it doesn't have all the bloatware as of the Samsung. You know, when you find that kind of attention to detail, when you find that kind of excellence, if you can pay them more than the industry or the market can bear, bring them on your team and train them to do what you need to do, they will take that excellence and apply it for your company. And when they're good like that, they're not gonna be in that job long. So you got to win them to your team. You got to find out what they really want. And it's not always money. It's in fact for the highest performing people that you want, it's usually not money. I mean, any dummy can pay them money. Anybody can pay them a salary. Anybody can pay them a little bit more to keep them on their team. But you know what people want more than money? You know what people want more than money? Some people want a business card. They want a business card with their name on it and the company logo that they can send back to their families. They want something fancy schmancy that they can send back when they send the remittance home to their families back in South America, or in the Philippines. They want something that shows mama, I made it. And they send that back, they made it in America. That's something that people want. You know what else people want? People want to be able to work from home. Now, I realize we've had a dispensation of people working from home, and now we've got a dispensation where a lot of people are going back to work. But you know what people want? They want the flexibility to do the job you want them to do, and then also have the family life balance that they're looking for. And I know family work life balance is a misnomer, but we can have some semblance of unity in all of that. And they want to be able to pick their kids up from school, or they want to be able to be at the soccer games, or they want to be able to, take a day off if they need to, without feeling like the work is going to be so built up that it's ridiculous, because you're going to give them the flexibility. You got to find out what people want. Some people today, they want access. They want access. There are people that want access to the connections and the opportunities that you have. And you don't necessarily have to pay them more, but bring them with you to the conference. You think about Delta Airlines or Microsoft. They do this. They do a big thing to be carbon neutral, right? By 2035, we're gonna erase the past carbon. By 2035, we're erase our carbon footprint, right? They're gonna remove all the damage they might have done to the environment. And you know why they're doing that? Now, look, we might think, oh, because they're just so altruistic. Come on, now, let's be real. You know why they're doing that? They know all the talented programs that are coming out of college now care about the environment. So guess what? They got a competitive advantage if they're going to be able to show that you can do something meaningful in the world and you can be a part of a company that's making a difference. And if you are building a company that's making a difference, you have to be constantly hunting for the best talent. And when you find them, you got to close the deal. Like, you got to hire them right on the spot, Like, there was a guy walking down, he was selling roofs, and I had just replaced my roof, and I had actually just had somebody else come out to this house and look at the roof. So I already knew we didn't need a new roof, because a roofer's going to sell you a roof. If they can sell you a roof, they're going to sell you a roof. And he's like, I really want to sell you a roof, but you don't need a roof. And so I said, oh, this is my guy, right? Like, I got a guy now in Stephenville. I got a roof guy. But but another guy came along, and just his tenacity and his sales pitch and all that, and the way that he didn't just high pressure sales tactic make somebody feel dumb because they didn't want a roof. He actually asked questions, and he met needs, and analyzed the situation. And I watched him go. I watched him go from house to house to house to house, and I listened, because it's a small, we can hear everything. I mean, it's one of them it's a small town, small neighborhood. It's not like there's so much traffic you can't hear what somebody's saying at the door next door, right? So we're all kind of nosy around here. But I told my husband, I said I would hire that guy. I'm not in a position to hire right now, but I would hire that guy. He would do my sales for me, and I would make some money. And but I'm not in a I've got an intern, but it's not a money position to hire. It's a personal position to hire. I've got to finish this doctorate, right? But there's things that happen. There's things that happen in people's lives. There's things that are important to people. Maybe people are working on a degree, and they're a single mom, and they're trying to make everything work, and you offer them the flexibility that they didn't have before. The money is good too, but you've got to look at maybe there's a willingness to pay a little more, maybe a willingness to take a little less, maybe find this or find that, or find a way to work and get the talent in there, because you don't want to be stuck with Verizon guy. I'm just here to collect a paycheck. What do you expect out of me? I'm just a college kid. Maybe you could do them a signing bonus. Maybe you do something like that. You say, look, what we're going to do is in 90 days, we're going to send you on our company cruise, all expenses paid. Well, maybe not all expenses paid in today's world. We're not buying your eggs. Okay, maybe it's a nanny. Maybe you throw in a nanny every other weekend so they can spend their time with their husband or their wife or whatever it is. Just whatever it is that somebody needs. Maybe you have a company, a cleaning company that supports all your employees, and they go in and clean the house once a month, so it's one less thing your family's got to do. Or maybe we're gonna hire a private trainer for everybody who's working on health goals. There's all kinds of different things you can do. And when you're a small entrepreneur starting out, you think of some of these things, you're like, I am nowhere near the point of hiring domestic help for the people that work with me. I need to hire domestic help for me. And that's really, honestly, let me just do a little side here, okay? Domestic help is actually the first hire that I encourage people to make, because once you start growing your business, it's going to be very helpful to you to have somebody come in and take care of that kind of thing, so that you can spend more time with your family who you say you're building the business for. Ooh, that's a whole word right there, y'all. That's a whole class, and we're not gonna hang on that. But some of y'all been saying you've been building for your family, and your family not feeling the love. Hunt for the talent that is going to allow you to grow this business in a way that is consistent with your family goals, your spiritual goals, your other goals. Okay. There's a saying out there. I can't remember who said it. It was like, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And when you live out and walk out that quote, and you're in this relentless hunt for talent, living out that quote and really caring about the people that you're bringing into your business and your environment, that will help you bring in and hold on to loyal, quality talent. And then you help them with their goals. And maybe they don't stay in the same position. Maybe they're starting out today as an admin, or they're starting out today as a cleaner, and down the line in your company, after they've helped you grow for 10, 15 years and grown multi-million dollars, now they're your director of HR, or you're this or you're that, because they're quality. You got to find the right people. You got to find the right people. And as you grow your business, there are different teams and there are different capacities that you put in place. And you may not always have the ability to bring everybody in. But and when you're starting out, maybe you don't have a CFO, but you can go out and, oh man, what's the website? It's not Fiverr or Upwork. There's another one for higher level, for like if you need to hire C-suite people to come in and advise you here and there, right? But eventually you're going to grow. So you don't want to wait to understand how to manage all that till you grow. You want to start learning how to identify talent now, so that as you grow, you can grab the talent that you need. Okay. you know you've got to hunt. Okay. And so, when you think about the world that's going on, and you feel like the economy's so tough, and there's no way on earth you're going to be able to make it, and there's no way on earth you're going to be able to fix this or fix that, there's no way on earth you're going to be able to break into this and break into that, but there's always a way. In the worst of times, somebody's making money. In the best of times, somebody's making money. In fact, sometimes in the best of times, a lot of people are losing money because they're not putting sound business practices in place. When I started as a realtor, in 2007. Let me tell you something about being a realtor in 2007. The market was up, 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 up when I was going to get my real estate license. And as soon as I got my license, the end of the year, we got into 2008. But you know what being a realtor and starting my real estate business did in that market? It taught me how to actually be a realtor. It taught me how to actually do the thing, because a whole lot of people were in that business because it was easy money leading up to then. But once that market crashed, you had to learn how to offer value. You had to learn how to actually make those deals behind the scenes that make that commission worthwhile. There's a lot. If you have a good realtor, they are doing some seriously good work behind the scenes to make sure your deal happens. They are negotiating with the bank. They are negotiating with this. They're negotiating with that. They're arranging this and that and the other. They are doing so much that you don't ever even see. And in that crazy environment, I learned how to be a realtor with 7% commissions. And maybe you feel like today, well, I don't know what I'm going to do. I can't run a business in this hard economic time. But you learning how to do a business now, and you learning these principles now, and you learning it how to do it the right way now, will serve you so well, including this principle of hunting for talent and scooping it up as soon as you find it. And remembering that it's not always about money. In fact, you know what they've said? There's research out there that talk about why people quit. People don't quit usually because of their salary. They don't usually quit because of the job. They quit because of their boss. They quit because of their boss. And so when you don't have money and you're trying to hunt, you've got to focus and think about what you can offer, you know? Les Brown said, what did he say? He said, it's not till you have enough money that you realize there's actually not much in it. And yeah, I get that. The Bible does say money answers for all things, right? And money doesn't always make you happy, but you have to work for a company that's going to honor you and appreciate you when you have that talent, that's going to give you what you need. Let me give you one more story on giving people what they need and appreciating them. And then I think we'll wrap up for the night. When I was in the military, there was an old senior master sergeant, I believe he was, who told us this story about making sure you understand what your people need. And he said a lot of times in the military, we think that the best gift you can give to somebody to show how much you appreciate them is time off, right? Like you appreciate them, so you're going to give them a day off. And he had an airman who was really just making things happen, and he wanted to appreciate this airman, so he gave him a day off. And the airman was like, I don't need a day off, let me just come to work, it's not a big deal, it's not a big deal. And the boss insisted, day off, day off, day off, because in their mind there was nothing better you could do for somebody than give them a day off. But so they gave them a day off, they gave the guy a day off. And what the boss found out later is that airman was hard on money. Whatever happened in their family situation, they were sending money back home, but it wasn't enough. I don't remember if they had a sick kid or what it was, but there was some family situation where this and I mean, airmen don't make enough money anyway. Let's just be real about that. But they didn't have a lot of money. They were living in a trailer. And in order for him to stay home, he now has to turn the lights on and run his air conditioning, which costs more money. He's there and he's out there isolated on land that was letting him stay there for free. It was a complete reminder of his bad family situation that was foisted upon him. And he's spending more money to be there. The young man really just wanted to be on the base with free hot water, free electricity, camaraderie of his friends, and taking his mind off of that bad situation. And unfortunately, the boss never sat down and really asked him, how can I appreciate you? It's important for us to hunt, hunt, hunt for the right talent. And when we find them, we must appreciate them. That's all I have for you today. I'm JJ Conway. Thank y'all for watching. Take care and have a good night. Be blessed.